We just got finished watching the second episode of Once Upon a Time, and we both agree that it's better than the first episode. But the content in this episode would have been better for the pilot episode.
Yes. Definitely. I think all the stuff in this episode would have been a lot more shocking if we hadn't seen everything that they showed us in the pilot. Because, like, we already know that the mayor's supposed to be the evil queen now.
Right.
So we know how bad she is.
Right. And they're trying to have twists in this show. For example, we didn't know. I thought that one guy was a butler, and then in the end it turns out that's her father. And then we're supposed to be shocked that he. I mean, it is shocking that she would actually kill her father to go through with the dark spell. But then we already know that she's going to do it. Yeah,
because she's crazy.
Because we already know in the first episode that they're in the alternate reality.
Yeah, and that the spell worked.
Right. So
True that.
it's not like, oh, is she gonna do it? It's like we
Yeah.
already know she's gonna do it. So this would have been better to see in the pilot episode.
Yeah. And then in that scene too, since we're talking about that, I thought when Rumpelstiltskin was saying that she had to kill somebody that she loved most, they had established her in this episode as being very narcissistic and self-centered.
She said, "Since when do I care about anybody else's happiness but my own?"
Yeah, exactly.
So we already know she's an egocentric character, and that she is only concerned with herself.
Yeah. So then I thought she's gonna use her own heart then.
Right, when
for the spell.
Right, when Rumpelstiltskin said, you have to sacrifice the heart of the one you love the most. It made so much sense when you had said to me while we were watching, you said that
maybe she's gonna use her own heart. So then also when other characters start calling her soulless, then it
would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense. They wouldn't have any, they wouldn't have any idea how much sense that they were making when they would say that comment there.
Like whenever she says, "Oh, you have no idea what I'm capable of," then we would be like, that is totally true.
Yeah, because it was so random when all of a sudden the butler was her father.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even have any status.
I know.
He's just going around carrying like boxes for her and whatnot. And just like kind of like telling her tidbits on the side, like, "Oh, would you like a drink?" You know, and it's like, why would her dad do that unless, I don't know, that's just too weird. So it tried to be a twist, and it was kind of a twist, but it wasn't working for me. On our subject of twists, another twist that I thought was kind of funny was how the mirror on the wall turned out to be a journalist.
Yeah.
The Daily Mirror.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, haha,
it
was cute, but it wasn't
okay.
like a crazy twist.
It was alright.
Like, yeah, it's okay.
Oh yeah, and then they tried to introduce more characters, like Maleficent.
Yeah, I
That was a
actually
good
liked
scene.
that twist.
Yeah.
That her friend would be another a character from another fairy tale. And the whole trading spells, that was interesting too. The sleeping spell and then the dark spell. That had me intrigued.
Yeah. I still don't like Emma. I know she's supposed to be the good
Why?
guy. She just seems so smug to me. Her character, especially when she's interacting with the evil queen as the mayor, it's like she shouldn't act so angry, because she's the one that gave up Henry to begin with. So I don't see why she would be so smug about it towards the queen.
Yeah, you know, something else that bothered me about Emma's character in this episode, remember when she goes to the shrink's office and the shrink offers her the records, and then after he gives her the records and she leaves, he calls up the queen or the mayor and says, "You were right, she went for the documents." And in the end, he kind of tries to tell Emma, oh, well, sorry I was forced into doing it, but I didn't really feel that he was scared.
Yeah.
It was more like, oh, how did you know? Oh, that's weird. And do you remember how in the first episode we were complaining that there's nothing magical about Emma? But then they're trying to establish that her special power was knowing when people were lying.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how she couldn't tell that this was a trick.
That's true.
Any smart adult would think this is totally a violation of patient-doctor confidentiality, right? So she's like, oh, why are you doing this? Oh, out of the kindness of my heart. She should have already known that there was, like, trickery behind this. So I thought that they need to pick, is she going to be a feisty character who knows when people are lying, or is she going to be a naive character who doesn't know, like, who's lying, just like her mother?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just like Snow White's character in the original fairy tale, right? Naive, character who can't defend herself, kind of thing, right?
And why is Jiminy such a stupid character? If it's supposed to be talking about Jiminy Cricket, he's supposed to be, like, have morals.
Yeah.
And know the right thing to do, but it's just that he's too small for anybody to listen to.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of scenes in here too where, again, the characters are telling us stuff instead of showing it to us. Like during that time when Henry was giving Emma the last pages of the book that he tore out. So he starts telling us everything again, like, oh, all these people are in a story, are really storybook characters, but they just don't remember.
Oh yeah, that was really awkward, like when they were walking together down the street.
Yeah.
And she's like, just, again, nonchalantly saying, oh, so like everybody here just doesn't remember who they are. And she's just enumerating it, like, just like it's like, oh, normal. And they don't grow old, and they don't, do this. Oh, okay, I get it,
Yeah, and then the other part too was when the queen, the evil queen, comes back from talking to Rumpelstiltskin, and we already see that she looks conflicted, and yet she says out loud, I'm conflicted.
It's stating the obvious again, right?
And again, when Snow White is talking to Emma and in Snow White's apartment, and then she gives her the cup of hot chocolate, and then she says, and then Snow White says to her, I'm something like, it's strange since you came to town, I feel like we've met before.
Yeah.
It's like,
we should see that. Yeah. From, like, on screen, not from what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's
a real problem in this show. They keep telling us stuff, but never really showing it. Because you could say it as many times as you want, and I'm still not going to believe you.
You crack me up, though, when, like, Emma's son orders her a cup of hot chocolate with cinnamon on it, and Emma likes it with cinnamon on it, and then when she goes to her mom's place, Snow White gives her chocolate with cinnamon on it, and she's like, oh, it's a quirk of mine, do you mind? And she's like, oh, no. And then you said, oh, the ties that bind us. I was like, they're trying to make connections between the characters, but they're, like, superficial connections.
Yeah, there's nothing significant about it. Couldn't it have been, like something like, I don't know, what could they have done? Like
a mannerism, or something that even if you didn't grow up together, something about that defines you as an individual. I don't think liking
hot chocolate
with cinnamon defines you as an individual. I mean, it's cute that they all like it that way, but it's just, okay.
It's not. Now, if it had been something crazy like, a birthmark, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe if they're gonna go with a power, well, of course they can't do it because Snow White doesn't have that ability, but if they all had the ability to, like, tell if people were lying, that would be interesting, but... Because apparently her son has that ability.
Oh, that's true.
And Emma's supposed to have that ability, although she didn't use it with, although she didn't use it with the therapist, right? To know if he was lying or not. So something that I did like about this episode, for the pilot episode, one of my complaints was that it didn't have the elements of a fairy tale. I mean, you can change a fairy tale and make it modern day, but it still should have the characteristics of an original fairy tale, right? Like, for example, the good versus evil, or like we talked about last time, having things occur in threes.
Yeah.
And this time, I liked how they came out with the rules. Because in a fairy tale, there has to be rules that even the main character and the bad character can't break. And for example, there was a rule Maleficent said when she was telling the evil queen that she couldn't give her back her dark spell. She said, "There are lines even we shouldn't cross." I thought that was interesting. Like, they're taking into consideration that in a fairy tale there are rules that the characters have to obey.
Yeah, that's true, because Rumpelstiltskin also says that every spell, there's always something that can break it.
Right, he says no matter how powerful, all curses can be broken. And then that's when he brings about Emma as the key. So now we know that she is a magical figure because she's the one who can break the spell. That should have been explicitly said, or at least explicitly shown in the pilot episode.
I still don't see what exactly Emma is saving the fairy tale characters from. Because when they show the town life, it doesn't even seem bad at all. They keep telling us that these characters coming into our world is going to be the most horrible thing, and I still don't see it. I don't see what it is that Emma is saving them from.
Yeah, and I don't get how, like, the queen says she wants to be in this alternate reality so much that she'll even kill her own father so that she can be happy, but she's not happy. And it seems like even before Emma came, it didn't seem that she was happy.
Yeah.
So what is happiness then? Because, like, she's supposed to be a successful woman, she's been the mayor, she lives a very good life, like, in terms of, like, comfort, but, like, she doesn't really seem happy. I mean, doesn't have a real family. She adopted a son, but they don't seem to be getting along. She doesn't have a husband or, someone, like, she doesn't hang out with her friends or anything. So what is this happiness that she was trying to achieve, and what is the unhappiness that the other characters are suffering?
Maybe they're trying to say that no matter what, good's always gonna triumph then, maybe? Like, the evil queen tried to stop them by putting them into this world, but then it's still gonna work out anyway.
Well, if that was the case, then it wouldn't seem so dire. Because they're trying to make it seem like they really need Emma to help them. But if they already know that things will work out in the end, then they wouldn't be so...
Well, maybe that's what they don't realize yet. I don't know, I'm just really confused still by the show. I don't know what they're trying to do. I mean, I was thinking before we watched the show, remember I was telling you that maybe they're gonna twist it that the queen's been the victim the whole time, and it turns out Snow White's the horrible person, which it seems like they're gonna show that Snow White killed the queen's love, right?
Yeah, I thought they were going to show it in this episode.
Yeah, I thought they were too.
Anyway, something I wanted to mention about the father. I was confused. They show that her father's name is Henry. So then we're all, oh, that's her son's name too, right?
So what if the son is reincarnation of her father?
Yeah, but then, so to me, it's another thing that you had mentioned, like, oh, what if he's back in the story as the kid?
Yeah, but then Rumpelstiltskin squashes that idea at the end.
That he really is
just an adopted kid.
Yeah, that he really is Emma's son, right?
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh, another twist taken away from it. So I was about to start rooting for the queen for a while, right before they did that scene when she kills her dad.
Yeah.
I was starting to root for her because Emma's just so smug to her. And I feel like they haven't shown the mayor as being such a bad person yet, besides just not wanting to lose her adopted son.
Yeah, because when you had mentioned to me your prediction that they would cast Snow White as the negative figure, I thought, oh, that would be a different twist on the Snow White story, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the queen actually has a backstory that we would care about, and that we would start questioning the goodness of Snow White. But then now you can't. I don't think that that's possible, because the queen has solidified her role as an evil character by killing her own family, like her own father.
That's true, yeah.
Right? So no matter what her
she
excuse
does, yeah.
is, no matter what her reasoning is, you can't justify like murder of like a cold-blooded murder too. It wasn't like her father was like, threatening her or something. It was just, I want to be happy, so I have to kill you so I could do this curse, you know? Like there's nothing, you can't redeem yourself from that. You know? So if they're gonna go with the twist that, oh well, Snow White had some issues too, you know, Snow White caused her to do this, it's like, well, I don't know if I can relate to the queen anymore.
The one scene that I actually got a kick out of was when the mayor invites Emma to her office, and then she tricks Emma into saying that Henry is crazy. That was a pretty good scene. I didn't see that coming, and then I thought that was a good way of having conflict develop between Emma and her son.
Yeah.
But then in the same episode they solve it.
Right.
Emma manages to get back on Henry's good side in 15 minutes later.
Yeah. In the last 5 minutes of the episode.
And then if they're gonna say that the queen is that evil, then why doesn't she just have Emma killed? Straight out.
Right, if this is her alternate reality where she dominates and no one else knows about this world,
then just get rid of Emma.
Right.
If she can get rid of her father that easily, just get rid of Emma. Be done with it.
Yeah, that's true. So they had to. That's why they should have established Emma as having some kind of magic about her. Because then we would understand why the queen wouldn't be able to do that.
And why doesn't the queen know who she is?
I don't understand. I thought that she knew, because she was all hugging the book last time.
Yeah.
And looking in the mirror and feeling satisfied that she had the Once Upon a Time book, but now to me it seems like she doesn't know who she is. I was confused about that too.
If anybody was gonna know who they were in this town, it should have been the queen. Because she's the one that cast the spell. Yeah, this show is confusing me a lot. I don't understand where they're trying to go with it.
I will say though, I did like introducing the character Maleficent.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Introduce more characters. I think they're going to, because I think I saw Cinderella in one of the previews.
Right. My problem with that is they should have introduced, like you said, in the first pilot.
Even
they should have introduced the scope.
You said it right when they were showing the wedding and there were so many people. That would have been a great time to show other characters. Yeah, the wedding scene was a missed opportunity to introduce other characters. I mean, it would have been just easy. Still don't know about Snow White. She's shifty.
You know what my problem is with Snow White and Emma?
Mm-hmm.
Snow White has like really dark hair, and then Emma has really light hair.
Yeah.
It's like they're always trying to, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, but they're making them foils of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you usually don't, in literature, you usually don't have foils of people that are supposed to be connected. You're supposed to say, oh, like these two characters are foils, like one is a bad example and the other one is a good example. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like one has flaws and the other one has like the qualities that you're supposed to admire. You know? Or I don't know, it just seems like they're always pitting them against each other even though they should be connected.
Yeah.
So, like, they're both the same age, So I find it hard to see that mother-daughter connection.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have the blonde hair and the dark hair. So, like, they seem really, like, on screen they look opposed to each other. And then we have Snow White being this, like, she seems like a really innocent and really, like, naive character. Versus Emma, who seems kind of gritty, who seems older than she really is, who's supposed to know more things and understand when people are lying. So I don't know why that they're putting them as foils. Like, I'm really confused by that too.
Yeah, and then another thing about the Queen, when she's the mayor character, I just feel pity for her because everybody's mean at her. Everybody's mad at her for no apparent reason. Like when the Queen goes to talk to Henry at the school, the Snow White actually denies her to talk to her own son. A teacher would not do that. Can't do that.
And I feel pity for her too.
Just the way that they're not that we're supposed to like think she's the best character ever and that we're rooting for evil, but it's just the way that they're presenting her.
Yeah, like she has legitimate cause for complaint.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I don't know how to react to that. I mean, they're trying to make her seem sinister by like showing her character in the past, but her character in the alternate reality is like it's nothing compared to what she did in her fairy tale land.
In her fairy tale world, right?
Yeah. So for the next episode, I want to see what they're trying to develop with this theme of all these quotes on love. I want to know about the Wicked Queen's like past. How did Snow White ruin love story, I guess.
Yeah, and I hope that they start showing us what the internal struggles of these characters instead of just telling us, having them say, "Oh, I'm sad, I'm
conflicted,"
and stop confusing us. There's so many things that are just contradicting.
I will say though, this is better than the pilot episode.
Yeah, a lot better, and yeah, we really like the performance of the evil queen.
She's a good actress.
And the guy who plays Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, still intriguing.
Mysterious.
So yeah, we'll just see what happens next time.